Butterflies fill my spine, I feel myself getting hot again. Nerves rushing through my brain, yeah, they can't hear fire from the trees. You're standing by his side, red drops burning down your face. You're real close now, baby. Holy fuck, I feel it with you. I lose self-control. Now I found this shit not one taking me now. You got me on my knees begging for your lady. And like a fool to stand around and let you blame me. And I'm riding in the sky to the very second
Hi, my name is Leo Connors, and welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. Tonight I got two special guests from Showcase Pro Wrestling, Don Vega and Chris Blackheart.
Hey, Leo.
How are you, man?
Finally get to
Yes.
be here, huh? After all this time.
Yeah,
so.
you guys had me on your show.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for
How
having
long
us.
you guys been doing that, the podcast?
I think we just turned into 2 years, right? About
think
2
so,
years.
yeah.
2 years
It's
coming
the
up.
Showcase Pod, right?
Showcase Pod, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, we got some fan questions.
Oh,
Let's
you-
get right into it.
Oh,
Well,
damn.
you just missed a question.
Yeah.
How and why we started the
Oh,
podcast.
well, that's not it.
Well, no, I want to hear that. You're right.
Yeah.
I missed that opportunity. How did it
did,
come
yeah.
about?
So that one actually came about by accident because we were doing the Wheeling City Festival for a couple of years where I was on the committee. We were doing the festival and stuff was changing. And we did the last show, which was a couple of years ago, and then we had issue regarding payment. Now remember, I was on the board. I was actually the treasurer on there, even though never touched the money, had account access, had the debit card, never did anything to it. So when we did the last one, I knew it was a little bit funny because at that time Davey just started running shows. I think it was maybe a year into it.
Okay.
So I knew something was going to change.
Right.
So I kind of pitched a little bit. It's like, hey, why don't, maybe we should figure do a battle royal, do something like next year. 'Cause
Right.
I could see the writing on the wall, that, I'm probably going to get pushed out. But I didn't expect not to be paid. And ironically, what people don't know about the whole scenario is Mike Sivia, Mike Majors, was a wrestler, worked for us. We knew him for years, did the festival. So I expected better.
Right.
So the podcast came about because we had problems getting payment. I had to do a court order, take him to court, to try to get the money.
Right.
And there's some.
Well, the first episode was kind of exposing that whole scenario.
Yeah.
And it got, ironically enough, it got taken out, it got flagged.
Really?
Yeah, we had a ton of views on that one. It got flagged, it got taken down, but.
Well, no, because we had the court documents, we had addresses, I had Mike's real address. I had everything on there because I'm a guy of proof.
Right.
You want to say something and guess, the boys don't know the story. And that's the whole problem, I think, a lot of times in wrestling is you know the story when it comes out because everyone's hot about it. But when stuff goes on or stories come up, people don't want to know. So that could be the theme of this whole show.
All right. Listen, Doc Ozone.
Oh,
For
Doc.
both. First of all, hey, love you to both. What are both your individual personal wrestling moments? Your best, your favorite?
Go ahead, I'll let you go first.
So yeah, I'm an easy one. The first one for me is the first time I actually wrestled.
Yeah.
Because people don't know, before I had that first match, I had a knee injury, I had a shoulder injury, I had surgery. It took me a long time to have my first bout.
Wow.
So by the time I did it,
Yeah.
It was like, this is finally happening. So talking about determination to do it.
Right. And who'd you wrestle your first match?
That was for Tony.
Tony Rumble.
Up in Boston. I wrestled one of the Gullah brothers.
Nice.
3,000 people turned on me.
Yeah. It's wild. My parents had a camp up in Salem and in Goshen, New Hampshire, and one of the Gullah brothers would fucking hang around my mother and father. I just said the F word. Yeah.
Hey.
That's the first
Gotta
one.
bleep it out.
They will. They will.
Yeah, so that was like a redemption. You know, and that just
Nice.
started everything, because a lot of times we forget some of the moments until somebody reminds us.
Right.
And sometimes that's good and bad about doing it, as long as we have.
All right. How about you?
See, I let him go first. He steals my answer because, you know, being a wrestler is everything that I wanted to do as a kid. So, you know, having that first match was special. So I'll go to the first time I tour Puerto Rico.
Nice.
Because that was one of the goals, and I got to do that. So
How old were you when you did that, by chance?
early 20s.
Yeah.
So, you know, that was a good moment.
Did you hook up with Savio over there?
Yeah, I wrestled for.
'Cause I know that, you know,
I wrestled
you
for
have a
IWA Puerto
relationship.
Rico at the time. But ironically enough, the first person who ever gave me a shot down there was Bushwhacker Luke.
Really?
Shout out to Bush.
Was he the booker?
Yeah, to Luke. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think he took over the book after Dutch.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Todd Graham. Not a question. Just wanted to thank Chris for giving Proving Ground a home when we first began, and for doing the same for my other show, PZW. Before that, ask him if he remembers the left-hand chicken story.
I don't.
Todd, now you're going to have to send him a message and tell him.
It's funny. I just sent Todd a message last
Did
week,
ya?
and I
I
asked
like
about his
Todd.
new job. But yeah, lots of people don't realize when we were in a couple of the mills in Rhode Island, when we first started, there was a lot of questionable organizations. Like they were yardards, untrained guys who
Yep.
love the business.
Yep.
Yeah, you may get bleeped on that one. You're gonna get crap with that one. But it's people that they have passion for the business, but they didn't have the training.
Right.
So Todd was one of them. RWA was one of them.
Yeah.
You know, and so it literally would pay the bills.
Right.
So a lot of people forget that we helped a lot of these organizations grow.
Nice.
And now, you know, I'll give kudos. What they were 10, 15 years ago, they're not today.
Right.
You know, Todd has evolved really well.
Yeah.
You know, I'll give props to RWA, same thing, they've evolved.
Yep.
You know, but, you know, the main thing is I'm not a big fan of people backdooring wrestling.
Right.
You have to go to training, you have to be consistent,
Yep.
and you have to keep on doing it.
Right.
You know, but again, I love the passion. The passion of it is great, but just because you're doing it doesn't mean you're really doing it.
Right. And
that's
you
what-
don't want to see someone get hurt.
well, and never mind that. I mean, safety is obviously the biggest thing,
Right.
but, you know, we're getting into other stuff regarding training and wrestling. But yeah, so Todd, thank you, Todd.
Okay, me,
And
I
yes,
love
and
Todd.
I don't know about that. Somebody must have left a leave a chicken.
Now I'm interested about
Yeah,
that.
me too. I'm
I
like,
wasn't
you
there.
know.
I wasn't there. So.
All right. BRG.
Yeah.
Which students do you see making an impact in the area in the next couple of years? I'll tell you one guy that I really like, AZ.
Did he feed you that question?
No, he
Right,
asked the question.
why don't you start it?
No, he didn't
You start
feed
it,
me
and then I'll
He asked it
continue.
on Facebook.
Okay, so you know we got a bunch of kids that
Yeah.
are coming up. Like you mentioned, AZ, one of them, Danny Cabral, another
that's
one
another one.
that we had from the old group, Christopher Spratt, guy that hasn't really got a shot to go out there, but that gimmick that he does as a teacher
Yeah.
and the whole lap thing that we evolved on, that he's another one. You know, those kids, they're coming up well. The only thing that I would say is, you have to keep your nose clean. You have to be focused into the business and leave the drama out of it. So, you know, good future. Just got to stay humble.
Yeah.
And keep worrying about their path.
The hot part now,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of guys that stick around. You know, 3 to 5 years, and then they get signed, they're gone.
Right.
Where when we started, you weren't getting signed until you're like 15 years into it.
Yeah.
So that's probably like the biggest thing. Like we do, I know Brett's asking for a name.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to give it to you because I know it's going to
Because
aggravate him.
you know,
I know exactly what
who
he
you
wants.
are.
Yeah.
But the idea is we have probably the greatest talent that we have,
Right.
as in guys that can take the next level,
Right.
Which is great. The biggest thing is literally consistency of it, where they last. And, you know, when we run the school, it's just not learning how to wrestle.
Right.
Is the business, is the mentoring of it, you know, and the etiquette is everything.
Right.
So in the ring, these kids are some of the best that we've ever had, like the next group.
Right.
You know, and that's kind of how, when we did the evolving of the school about 4 years ago, you know. So when we were talking about just not making indie guys, we wanted to bring guys to the next level.
Yep.
So we did, you know, and part of that is you know, his background. He had relations with Kenny, wrestling from Sparta,
Yep.
you know, and around, and that's how that came about. So Kenny's been one of our trainers for 3 years,
Nice.
which helps us elevate.
Right.
And if you look at it now, you know, now this is airing after SmackDown, in Providence, we had 4 out of the 8 guys who were extra work there.
Oh, nice.
Came from the school. You know, which kudos. You know, again, they do put in the work, but it's connections of what we have with the schools, the work that they're doing,
Right.
the relationships that he's had in the past that we kind of blended in. So I don't think people realize that there's no magic in one way to get it. But as a school, when we chose to go a different route to get a higher level of talent training-wise, it just kind of fell in.
Right.
So, yeah. So I would like to say, I want to put Brett's name on that. So, Brett, I'm going to give you a little teaser for yourself. I'm hoping, right?
Yeah.
People forget, Brett was one of our, when our trainees like 15 or 13 years ago.
Right.
Right?
Old Todd Harris. His first name.
Old Todd Harris,
Old
yeah.
Todd Harris.
Right? Old Todd Harris.
Yeah.
So could he be the first one that gets on the national level? He could be.
Could be.
So
Seriously.
if he does, fantastic. You know, and Brett, people don't realize this too. Brett, we train 3 days a week.
Right.
Monday,
He has a
Tuesday,
class.
Wednesday, right? 6:30 to 9:30.
Yeah.
The combination typically on Tuesday nights is Sarge and Brett. Talk about old school and new school.
Right.
Right. But you know, Brett's learned the hard way, so we've been up and down our relationship.
Yep.
You know, to say the least. And but you know, Brett could be the next one.
Well, last time I saw you guys was at the Pro Wrestling Super Show.
Yes.
And Az was in the match, a tag team match.
Yep.
Who was his partner?
Matt Michelson. He's another one of our students, another kid that, has got a
That
good
match
future.
was really good. It was 4 students.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we
no,
got a whole crop of guys that are coming up, like I
just
said.
throw out all the names, all right?
No, I'm not going to mention
out
names.
all the
I'm not going to
names so
mention
people
names,
don't-
but
yeah.
we got a crop of guys that once they get looked at, like I said before in other shows, they're going to make some good noise because they're ready for that. But like I said, at times when you're in the business, 2-3 years, you think you know it all.
Right.
And I have 30 coming up at the end of this month, and I'm still learning.
Yeah,
so,
of course, yeah.
They
say that a guy like you could learn something from a guy that's only been in the business 2 years.
Exactly, because they different comings, different training, different psychology.
Right. Excellent. All right. Bo Douglas. Bo doesn't ask questions a lot on this show, so
Bo,
he definitely likes you guys. What happened to Flair limo service, and how did they almost ruin a certain someone's prom? That's for Chris.
That's for me, all right.
What happened?
So back, this was probably 96, 97, I got in a car accident, right?
Yeah.
And the excess money after paying off the car, I bought a new car. I bought a limo. So when I started at Kowalski's in May of 97, I didn't know what to have a name, so the name came up, Flair Limousine, right?
Yeah, Mark.
It was good, right? Would I name it now that way? No. But back
Rick
then,
wouldn't let you.
Yeah.
He doesn't even let his son use
just
his
let
name.
you know, I read something before you did, right? But the idea was, people don't remember that he was young. He was probably junior or senior in high school when I met.
Wow.
When I met young Bo. So that is when he found out.
Yeah.
And I don't really remember. I think he wanted me to take him. The rumor is that he booked me because then I would have a deposit, which I didn't get a deposit. So I think, so Bo, if you want to go to the prom right now,
Hey,
I would be happy almost 25 years later. I would take you to that junior prom.
you can take him to T's prom show next year.
Yeah.
He said he's going to do it again.
Oh, okay. So Bo could drive. You don't have the limo anymore.
I don't have the limo anymore.
You pick him up in your car.
Yeah, just pick him up in the car.
So it is only 25 years later, and he's still worried about. I want to know what happened to that. What happened to that young lady that you were supposed to go to the prom with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you screwed that up for him.
Yeah, he didn't
Apparently
get
I
nothing.
did.
Yeah.
He got
No,
nothing.
I think he oversold it. He's like, I got this limo.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. All right. But Don, ask about good times, 97, 98, I believe it was. Tony Rumble days.
Yep, I remember that. Rookie of the Year match, Bo Douglas against the Punisher.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, Bo and I always got along great from the start. We always had good matches. So just good times, working for Tony, that group of guys, you know, all young guys at the time, to drop a few names like Wagner Brown, Demon Ortiz.
Yeah.
We were all young guys in the business.
Right.
So,
That's some good guys right there.
Yes.
I'm a huge Slick Wagner Brown fan. My youngest daughter's favorite wrestler, Slick Wagner Brown.
Slick, yeah. Good
All
shit.
right. Or if they have any good stories from the Douglas Hanson years, besides the Canadians, our most consistent opponent was like a night off. That must be talking about you at wrestling, right?
Yes.
Who were you team with, Jose?
I was teaming with Blackheart.
Oh, okay.
It was Blackheart and I against him and a guy known as Ibar now.
Yeah, Ibar.
I still call him Hanson Johnny.
Me too.
You know, to get off kind of like Bo and go into Todd real quick. You know, what a great guy, Todd. I'm happy for him. He's one of those guys that if you don't see him in a bunch of years, at least in my experience, we pick up right where we left off. You know, he ain't let fame turn him some other way. He's always been the same guy. So I'm genuinely happy that he made it. You know, a guy that had that back injury and all that.
All kinds of injuries.
So, you know, he made it. I felt like a piece of me made it when I got like that. Because we used to go to TV all the time. We'd be in the back. We'd be seeing other people. And, you know, God bless them. You know, we had great matches with those guys, too. I think we had good chemistry with those guys. And they were young. I mean, Bo had more experience than Todd at that point in time. So I think all the matches we had with those guys, we were willing to work with one another and try things out. And I think we meshed up really well.
Nice.
So it was fun.
Do you have anything to add?
No, I think I got to find the clip, and that's the problem. I think being around so long, people someday share clips and you have no idea about the match.
Right.
And it's just funny how people see it different ways. And so if you have that footage,
I got footage, man.
I know, but that was what Escapades in Randolph's.
We wrestled them there. We wrestled them a bunch of places.
Rainham, that was the first one. So
I'll tell you, out of everyone that got signed, I was more happy for him because of all the stuff he went through to get there. And a lesser man would have quit. There's no doubt about it.
And I think that's the problem with a lot of today's guys.
Right.
They're not going to make it 13, 14, 15 years with the injuries and what, you know, what he went through.
You're right.
So that's the part, and this sounds terrible. I don't want anyone to get hurt, but I do believe there's different things that they have to get gut checked.
Right.
You know, like when I blew my shoulder out, right? I, you know, did the rehab, same with the knee, did the ACL, did the rehab. I always knew I wanted to get back in the ring. It wasn't a question, it was when, not if. And I think that's the problem that's missed from a lot of guys.
Right.
So Todd's story is tremendous because I don't think the kids now would have stayed.
Yeah, no, I really don't think so either.
So, and that's hopefully, you know, and this is the part I love about social media. You know, I haven't seen Todd in forever, but you love seeing how they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like you're seeing them without seeing them.
Yeah.
You know, so.
My girlfriend's cousin was his teacher, and in class, she asked him what he wanted to be, and he stood up and said he wanted to be a pro wrestler. She found out I liked wrestling. She asked me if I knew him. And it was just when he got signed to the WWE. I said, are you kidding me? I said, he's going to be on TV next week.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Amazing. All right.
Yes.
All right, Ray Trailer, which I think is the big boss man's name.
Yes.
Right?
Well, I'm smelling this like from the Burning Hammer.
Yeah.
Ray Trailer.
This from the Burning Hammer, okay.
Mayor McCheese or whatever. What is it that brought you into pro wrestling that also keeps you in it today?
Wanna go first?
That's a great question,
I'll let
Ray.
you go first.
I mean, I loved it. I fell in love with just wrestling in general. With me, it was more the larger than life type characters and just the environment. You know, I fell in love with like entrances and stuff like that. That type of stuff. I always loved it. I just don't know why, but I love the business. You know.
Did what's the first person you saw wrestle? Like, what's the first thing you saw?
Wrestling, I have moved back from the States. I was born in Jersey. I have moved back to Puerto Rico. And my grandfather was a diehard wrestling fan. Carlos Colon, the Invaders. I mean, you name it.
Right.
At that time, the Puerto Rican territory, they had everybody from the States, you know. So, first matches that I watched like Carlos Colon against Stan Hansen, Abdullah the Butcher, Dory, Terry Funk. I mean, you just go down the list.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What about yourself?
Kind of the same way. I got hooked from the Brockton Fair. Kowalski used to do the shows there, right outside. They used to have Demolition Derby and also pro wrestling. So I don't know when I got hooked, but that was my first hook to come from Brockton.
Right.
Then you watch it on TV when it used to be X'd out.
Yep.
So yeah, it's weird. I don't remember the time I just know I was.
Right, right.
You know, and it's the same thing. Once you see it, you know.
On that show, gorgeous Chris Duffy must have been on that show.
You did. Well, you did. You had Phil Apollo.
Yeah.
Also, you had Saj. You know, I remember I used to see Jose Luis Rivera.
Wow.
Like a lot of the WWE guys
Yeah,
that are
yeah.
on TV. And I'm like, I remember as a kid, I used to say, I don't understand. You're so good tonight. Why can't you do it? Fill in the blank.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You
When
know,
you're
so-
on TV.
Yeah, it's like,
Well, that's the thing. He just mentioned all those guys. Those guys are cream of the crop
Yeah.
type guys.
Yeah.
Even when you saw them on TV, they were lower end,
Right.
but they were no lower end at
No,
all. You know,
no,
those
no.
guise were legitimate.
Jose Luis Rivera was
legitimate
awesome.
workers. Yeah.
Johnny Rivera
Yeah,
was
Johnny
phenomenal
Rivera,
too,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
He was actually one of the invaders.
Yeah, the invader number
Yeah.
3, Johnny
Yeah.
Rivera. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
we
trained
did.
a lot of people too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
So
yes.
he's a big trainer over there?
Yeah, well, at the time he was.
Okay.
During the time, now
Yeah.
he's
Is he still alive, do you know?
he's still alive. Yep.
Okay. Kenny Lockhart. You guys know Kenny?
sounds familiar.
Big fan. What happened to HD3 in Showcase? He was the best you guys had.
All right, I'll get into the
Oh, you-
HD3
you also
story.
that one,
So HD3
Yeah.
came along through a favor for Alec Price.
That was his manager. Right.
Alec
right,
Price
yeah.
asked me because I've seen Alec Price work his first match ever.
Right.
His second work that he ever did was for us.
Really?
Yes. So for a year he worked for us and we did many things and I saw something, I'm not gonna say it because he's up working at a top level now, but since the get-go I knew he was a natural.
No, I
You
hear
know,
you.
the kid had natural ability. I'm like,
Kid's
who's
good.
this kid?
Right.
So, you know, actually I asked Bo. He's like, oh, that's one of my students.
Yeah.
I was like, can we use him? He's like, yeah, sure. So we started using him. Long story short, he asked me about his buddy.
Yeah.
HD3, we brought him in. He was great on a mic. You know, great in every scenario that we put him in. And then backstage drama fell into play. And, you know, he was dating this girl
Goddamn women.
that they broke up with. We ended up messing around, me and the girl.
Yeah.
He got heat with me. For whatever reason, we got crank off for
Yeah, those are some weird.
for about a year, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm not lying when I said we used to get like 50 calls a day.
Wow.
Like the dude was,
Can I ask you, was it the Spanish girl?
yes.
I know exactly
It
what
was
you're
great.
talking
Yeah,
about.
it was a Spanish girl.
She was she's a good-looking girl,
So,
man.
you know, there was a lot
She
of drama
is.
with that from people that are curious. I'm going
Right.
to answer it. You know, it was 2 consensual adults.
Yep.
You know, messing around.
Absolutely.
And people that don't know and started making all these type of stories took it in a whole different route.
Right.
You know, which is, you know how it is in life and in wrestling. But yeah, that was the HD3 thing. They
Drama.
drama, and he just couldn't let go.
Yep. I remember exactly when all that was going. I wasn't at the show, but I remember seeing all this stuff on Facebook. But I didn't know you were involved.
Oh, yeah.
I only seen him having problems with the girl.
And I like Howison. You know, I
Right.
thought he was really talented and we were cool. And even out of respect for him, I never messed around with her or anything, even though we flirted and all that
Yeah.
stuff. It was after they were done, he
Right.
just couldn't let go and he kept coming around and it turned into drama.
Yeah.
And all that was in our private life. It had nothing to do with wrestling. So, you know, there it is.
All right, Kenny, you happy? Kenny got down and dirty with that question.
Yeah, no,
I didn't
man.
know where it was
Yeah,
I
going.
love it.
No, I
love
mean
it,
that's
man.
you answered very
Clearly, yeah.
well. So
All right. Sean Candido, he's got 2 questions.
he's gonna whine.
Will the Sabu pants ever show up again? Is
Is he talking to you?
Who's
Oh,
got
he's
the
talking to
Sabu
you, the
pants?
slab
Right, so
pants.
now
Was
what-
it Slabu?
Slabu.
See, what people don't understand when I all right, so when I started wrestling, right, gear is really tough, right?
Right.
So I had 2 knee braces, so I had to get gear that would cover it.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, so that's
He messed up there. He should have went the Austin route and
no,
shoulder
I
knee
could have.
covers.
I
would have made a ton of money.
I could have.
You
but-
blew it.
you blew
Yeah,
it.
so yeah,
Blew it,
I blew it.
Jim.
So yeah, so I don't know if they would come back.
Right. All
You
right.
know,
They
but-
might, though.
You still
You
got
never
some?
know.
I do. See,
Do you still have
I
them?
do have some. I do have some,
man.
but yeah.
I think that would just in general sell some tickets. People have been asking for them.
Okay, this has got to be an inside joke for you guys.
I don't know.
Was it double punch, double kick, or double kick, double punch?
It was double kick, double punch. Of course, Blackheart would switch it around at times.
Switch it around?
Well, okay, well, see,
What? So what? They're expecting you to. And then you
It
would
was,
do the
it was
opposite?
a double
Yeah.
whip. We kick him,
Yeah.
punch him, and then I would do the Devon headbutt. But Blackheart sometimes.
so usually what we try to do, right,
Yeah.
is when we figured out moves at that time, we would figure out so either of us could hit him.
Right.
Even though majority of the time he would do the
Well,
headbutt.
well,
right?
you know.
So that the art form of it is we could both do it.
Right. Did you do the.
No.
This was before the
Oh,
WhatsApp.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not. Did you ever wrestle the Backseat Boys?
Backseat
Trent and
Boys,
Johnny?
Trent. Nah, I worked shows with them. I never got to work with those guys. Those guys were awesome, though.
Trent was.
Especially
Johnny
Trent.
was good
yes.
too, but Trent
Yes,
was
yeah,
unreal.
yeah.
I was watching Sunday Night Heat one night.
Yes.
And they show
And
up
they
on
show
the
up.
stage.
Yeah.
They're the Backseat Dudleys.
Yeah.
Oh, I was loving it.
Yeah.
Trent was a real
Yeah,
good
those
dude. I
guys
met
were-
him when I catered for Ring of Honor. He was
Yeah,
a good dude.
Yeah, good talents there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right. Matthew Apoiset? We'll go with that. I butcher names left and right. What city, town, or territory had the best or worst groupie section? we saw Don Vega on a card in Somerset, Mass, and he said there was some hurting-looking bitches in the audience. Did you say that?
I probably did, man. I'm brutally honest. I'm blunt. I mean, I just like to have fun at times,
Right.
even though I keep a serious character, and people take it some other way sometimes, but it is what it is, you know what I mean? Like, I probably did say that, Leo. I'll hold up to it.
All right. You guys probably know Andy Miller, great wrestling fan. Who were both of your favorite wrestlers growing up?
There you go, Chris Blackheart. I know the answer to that.
Is it?
No,
Yeah.
I'm an easy one. Like, you know, you had Flair, you had Tully,
Yeah.
you had Arn. You know, the NWA, like when I was growing up, we had WWF.
Right.
But then when cable came out, like in '84, it was just different.
Right. It
You
was
know?
totally
So yeah, totally different. So everybody has to say Hogan at first.
Right.
Because it was Hogan.
Yeah.
But then when you saw that, it was just different.
Right.
So yeah.
How about you?
So I was Puerto Rico, Carlos Colon at first,
Yeah.
and then obviously coming back to the States, it was Hogan. You know?
Right.
Hogan for that whole ride. Up until, like he said, once you get into business and you start learning, you see all these other guys.
Right.
You know, and then you start picking and choosing who you want to go.
Yeah. Well, you just said like Ric Flair.
Yes.
In my opinion, Ric Flair should have left wrestling years ago as the #1 wrestler of all time. In my opinion, he hung around too long for me to think of him as the best of all
Yeah.
time.
I mean, that Michaels match that he had.
That's where he
that
should have
been.
ended it.
That should have been it. That was a perfect
Yep.
send off for Rick.
So true.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, it's hard with legacies. Like when you, and this is the problem with wrestling. Once you go through that curtain, you're hooked.
Right.
It is nothing
It's like a drug,
it.
man.
It
Yeah.
is.
Oh, I'm sure.
But you got to look at the work rate too.
Right.
And, you know, should he? Absolutely. But he needed the money. What he
Right.
had, 3, 4 XYs by the time.
Yeah.
You know, and that shouldn't be the driver of it. But now you look at it now, he's more of a legend outside the ring.
Yeah,
Good
he
or
is.
bad. Good or bad, right?
Right, right.
But people know his name.
Yeah. Oh,
You
absolutely.
know, so yeah, so.
And they know he was a great wrestler.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you look at his age. What was he? 58 in WWE.
Yeah, he was in
still
the 50s,
wrestling at
yeah.
a decent level.
Right.
Yeah.
But even like
That match with Michaels was
Yeah,
incredible.
that was incredible.
no, but even like I remember seeing matches when he wrestled Ken.
yeah, and
right?
Taker too. He had a good match with Taker.
And you're looking at it, it's like a lot of times like they weren't the wrestler as they were.
Right.
But he could still do some of his greatest hits.
Yes.
So
When you said Ken, you meant Kenny Dykstra, right?
Yeah.
Because that was incredible, man.
Yeah.
I loved it when he beat him.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yes.
That was incredible. Great wrestler. And you guys are good friends with
Yeah.
Kenny?
Yeah. Ken I've seen since
see every Wednesday night.
since he was like AZ, but like a thinner
Right.
version of AZ.
All right. Chris Sanders, who's doing really good things.
Yeah.
What's the vision for Showcase in the next 5 years?
I'll let you answer that.
So that's a tough one to a degree because like we have two things. We have the school, and then and then we have the events.
Right.
You know, so the events. I mean, we're doing about 36 to 40 events a year.
Wow.
Which people don't realize between
That's
the
good.
school and outside stuff.
Right.
So we were talking about before about doing much bigger
More.
events.
Wow.
So we like doing the small ones because
Yep.
they're manageable. Because anybody who wants to write a tip down there as promoter, always have the money in your hand.
Right.
Don't rely on
The gate.
On the gate, you have to have the money in your hand.
Spencer.
Well, yeah, we can tell you stories on that one, right? But that's always been the idea.
Right.
So we have a game plan. We rather sit down and do it because life changes.
Right.
Like people don't realize, my daughter's 16.
Wow.
Right. She has a job.
Yep.
Kathy used to run the door all the time. Lately, she has been at events. So that changes some things too. When he's running the back, I'm running the door. So
Right.
we are refiguring the game plan. So if anyone thinks we're saying goodbye to your question, because
Right.
we're looking to get bigger, and we've been partners for a while by accident.
Really?
People forget that.
How did that come about?
Well, check the next question.
I mean, before we move from that, so he pretty much answered, the business side of the company,
Right.
running the school separate entity. Same thing for the school. We want to get guys to that next level. We want to get guys to getting contracts and sign and all that stuff. So,
Right.
that's where we're trying to take it to that next level.
Well, I got a question for you. How did you guys get booked for doing extra work? Did they just show up? Did they call you? Like, how does that?
Like the students we got now?
Yeah, how did they get extra
The
work?
students we got now is all through the program with Ken Doan, and even before the Ken Doan program, I had a good relationship with WWE. Because for a long time, from 2007, 2010, I was really knocking at the door where I was gonna get hired.
Right.
So at that time, I kept that relationship going on from people to people because whoever knows, that position used to change so many times, the talent relations at WWE. So I kept on that relationship to the point that, they trusted me if I say, hey, I got a guy. And I ended up bringing in one of our students, Carlos Slavin.
Okay.
He was one of the first guys I brought to TV. Then after that, Carlos, he moved on to corporate Carlos.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we had another student, Rambo, that's the champion now at Showcase. And I ended up bringing him. And through all that, again, Kenny came to work for us and do the training.
Right.
The relationship just kept building, and
That's
now,
awesome.
now that's how that thing takes place.
Well, it's hard too because we just had this conversation. We have guys who go in there. They've been in the business 2-3 years. We have one kid that just went 10 months in the business.
Yeah.
Wow.
It took me 10 years from my first go.
Yeah. So could you imagine? So some days they don't realize what they have,
Right.
and the grind that we do to get there.
Right.
And it hasn't even been WWE only. We've had guys in TNA and
Right.
AEW,
Nice.
as of recent. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of times, for some reason, we don't get the internet love.
yeah.
Because for some reason, I said something or wrestled someone, 20 years ago,
Right.
Or I worked stiff 20 years ago, and that should be the cross you got to carry for the next whatever.
Yeah, no, but that's still, they I think they do have PTSD, regarding fill in the blank. So, I mean, probably the biggest thing out there is have communication, talk to people.
Yep.
Because like some of those, do you have more good questions? Because I was expecting a lot of bad questions.
Chopper Pitsley's up next, and
Okay.
he's got a whole bunch of.
Okay.
Chopper's got questions.
Yeah, let's get it. Let's go into it.
Oh, yeah,
man.
bring them.
All right. Memories of Anthony Rufo in UCW. That's for both of you.
All right, go first, Chris.
Love Anthony. Anthony, he gave me a lot of shots for that case. When I moved down to Rhode Island, they had the place on Valley Street. So it was him, Mr. Biggs, Gino.
Yeah.
Was it IAW? Is that how they were?
IIW, I think it was. Yep.
So Anthony was the booker at the time.
Right.
He gave me opportunity. So we're always, grateful for that. So
I loved this tag team with Gino, the Millennium
Yes.
Killers, man.
Yes.
That was so good. It really was.
Both good guys, talented guys. Anthony, I know since I was a kid, since I first broke in NEWA. Initially, he was the first guy to offer to help me, which he eventually did.
Right.
He was one of the first guys teach me how to take bumps and stuff. Then moving forward, any company that he was in, I would have a spot.
Right.
So, Anthony was one of my guys, man. Love the
How long
guy.
has he been gone? Over a decade?
Yeah.
Over, right?
Yeah,
Definitely over a decade.
Yeah, definitely over a decade now.
Wow. All right. The days of tagging in SCCW.
Those were good times. I think those times is the times that gets us heat still to this day.
Yeah?
Yeah. For this guy beating people up with shoes and
I only did that with
know,
the Hot Boys.
like, we have fun. I mean, for me, those times were fun times.
Right.
We got to wrestle a lot of young people that are still in it now, like, young Jason Blade, Sean Candido. I mean, you name it. Sean, forget his work name now.
Venom.
Chris Benham.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sean
all
St.
those
Onge.
guys, we were all working at that time. So
Right.
it was fun times.
Yeah, well, people forget because that's when I used to work all that. Like at that time, it was YPW, SCCW. We were working every weekend, twice, 3 times.
Who ran SCCW?
It was both the same. Eugenio, Joe Eugenio
okay.
owned both companies.
Yankee Pro and that
Yes,
one,
and
right.
Steve was given SCCW to be the booker and kind of run with that because we had too many guys in the roster. We had too many guys at the school. So they wanted to give those guys an outlet, the newer guys,
Right.
and then take guys from Yankee Pro to kind of fill in the blanks to work with those guys. So that's what that was.
All right. This one's for you. Early days in NEWA and any funny stories on Gino Giovanni.
Well, actually, NEWA, Gino was the guy that inspired me when I watched NEWA because NEWA was big on cable access in Rhode Island. Those guys were kind of, at that time, rock stars in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Because everybody watched cable access. Cable was hot back then.
Mm-hmm.
So, I watched Gino and I'm like, yeah, this kid's got a big mouth. I just want to punch him in the face.
Does, dude.
And, long story short, we became best of friends, me and Gino, and I loved NEWA, man. Rocco's going to be on our podcast coming up soon, so, I'm glad that he's still around to be able to catch up on old times. But NEWA was a good experience for me.
I first got into selling merchandise at NEWA shows that George Carroll was.
Yeah,
George
that was a new reinvention. I think George, with the blessing of Rocco, started running up this way, Mass, right?
No, he was running in Quincy. He was running in Quincy.
Yeah.
And what good shows, man.
Yes.
That's where I first saw Brian Buffet, Brian Malonis.
Yeah, Brian Malonis.
I mean, that was a pretty good job. The Mighty Midi.
Eddie Edwards, all those guys wrestled there. What's the other one? Mike
DC?
Bennett, DC. Yeah, that was the new NEWA.
Yeah, that was I had a lot of fun going to those shows. All right, it's for both of you. Savio, you know Savio too? Because he put it on for both.
Yeah, he's met Savio.
Okay.
He's worked for Chris.
Yeah, a couple of times, yeah.
So Savio Vega.
Yeah. No, but ironically, that, again, I don't know if people are making a connection here. He does a lot of the connections.
Right.
I don't think people realize that. Wrestling is all about networking, connections, and having trust.
Right.
So when he came and said, "Hey, what's your thought?" So if you want to do it, let's do it.
Right.
So I would have him twice. I think we had him.
Yeah.
Nice.
So he's been up here for us. Like I said, ironically, my first time going to Puerto Rico, it was Bushwhacker Luke that booked me. Then our relationship grew from there. Once I went in and started doing work, we kind of tied things together. He gave me the blessing on the Vega thing.
Yeah.
We ended up doing work for Powerhouse Wrestling back then, and we worked on and off teaming against each other, and we built a friendship,
Nice.
So.
Nice. He's a great wrestler. Man.
Yeah, who would ever thought the guy watched
TNT.
TNT. We would have became good friends. So,
That's awesome. All right. Tony Rubble.
You want to go first on Tony? Or?
I'm an easy one. Wait, okay, I ruined some of your stuff. So people don't.
He's gonna ruin it.
No.
I'm just kidding.
I'll take some of the story. So when I had my last injury, I had my ACL.
Yeah.
And I met Joe Davis at TGA.
The real deal.
Yep.
Real deal.
He challenged me and Sonny Goodspeed to a fight, 2-on-1.
Fantastic. We can book
we
it.
live
You guys want to
stream
book
that?
it?
We can book it. Right?
Ryan Drew wanted to book it right away.
Yeah, we can book it. Training center's open all the time for that one, right? But so I was going there a couple of times with Joel, and then I kind of saw little young Don Vega with a little Brillo pad here.
See, he was sitting in the crowd buying.
I was because so, and I went there a couple of times with Joel, and then opportunity because something happened on a card at in Boston. That's how it happened.
Right.
And My next match was supposed to be supposedly in Connecticut against Gino for Tony.
You got to clear it. Gino Martino.
Gino Martino.
Yeah. Because I did think it was got to be Gino Giovanni, just because we
Gino
just
Martino.
right.
All right,
I'm
that's
sorry.
fine, all right.
Sorry.
I get name pegs, but no, that's what but that's what it was supposed to be.
Right.
So like I didn't have the opportunity really to work with Tony because I was starting down that path, you know.
Yeah.
And but then listen to his stories, which I'll tag you, let you take over. You know, he was Tony.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, legend in New England
man.
in independent wrestling. Not even just New England. He was working for Carluzzo and everybody too.
All over the place. Yeah. At the time, I started learning after.
Right.
You know, the things that he had done and stuff like that, because you know you meet people, and if you don't follow the history, I'm like, shit, this guy's. And there I go, I dropped the S word.
The day he died, I was selling merchandise at the Jeff Costa show, and they were all talking about it the day he died.
Wow, yeah. So, you know, Tony, definitely a character.
Right.
Good dude. And before he passed, I was getting ready to get a little shot, a little break, because I have done all the tapings at Good Times, like he mentioned. I've done the kick the behind by Knuckles Nelson and Eric Sprazer and all that. So I put in some work.
Right.
And I was getting to get my take back. And Tony pulled me aside and he's like, kid, I like that you speak Spanish. You know, I like the whole bilingual thing. He's the one that actually gave me the name Don Vega.
Really?
Yeah, I said that in the Hall of Fame.
Nice.
Because a lot of people thought it was the connection with Savio.
Yeah.
Back then I was only the Punisher.
Right.
Tony, when he had that speech with me, said, I want to give you a push. You could keep the Punisher thing as your nickname, but you're going to be a mixed street kind of fighter, Latin guy, you know, with the Vega thing from Savio Vega, and you kind of look like D'Lo Brown, so we'll do the Don. So you'd be Don, the Punisher Vega. And, you know, Tony passed.
Right.
I never got that push there. I kept it going.
Yep.
So here we are.
Yeah, Tony, man, he did a lot of great things for a lot of guys around here, man. He really did. All right. Memories of the time with the independents and the start of Primal Conflict. I think that one's for you.
Okay. So, you know, the independents, guys like Hugo, Jose Perez, Pretty Boy Hernandez, myself and Kyle Storm, we were all NEWA guys.
Right.
I was a young one out of that pack. The first show took place at Club Stars in Johnston, Rhode Island.
Okay.
That famous place where somebody got set on fire. I don't know if you saw that footage.
No, I didn't.
It was like Jamie Payne, I think that got set
I
on.
did see that.
Yes.
Yes, I did.
So yeah, I mean, those shows were wild.
Right,
You
right.
know, they were trying to fill in that void of ECW, and for a while they got a huge following, and they made some noise, and you know, it was just catching up with old people that I started with. So it was good times.
You know what I noticed when people use fire in wrestling? Where's the water?
Oh,
There's
man.
never any water. I mean,
was-
you'd think it'd be smart
he
enough to have a
was-
bucket of water.
You smell it, man.
Yeah,
He was on
I
fire
bet,
for
I
a
hear
while,
ya.
bro. It was wild. Yeah.
Did you see Masada try to spit like fire?
Spit the
It
fire,
got it in
yes,
his face. I'm
yes.
like, Jesus.
Yeah, definitely a risk when you're dealing with fire. Don't play with fire if you don't want to get burned.
Yeah, see, that's a good lesson from the
For the-
Punisher
for the
kids.
kids.
Yes.
Usually it's for the kids, but for adults in wrestling.
Yeah, no doubt. You just brought him up, your old tag team partner, Jose Perez.
I mean,
Wreaking havoc.
Okay, yep. Did you watch some of those shows?
Yeah.
You got to see some of those shows?
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait, I saw you work at NECW.
yes,
For
with
Sheldon.
Sheldon.
Yep.
Sheldon, I hope he's doing well. You know,
Yeah,
I
me
know
too.
He was a little bit under the weather, so hopefully he kicks
guy.
out. You know, always a great guy to me. I enjoy NECW. Those were some good shows in Quincy. Always hot, the crowd
Yeah.
there. Perez and I, you know, we clicked again. It was kind of like that independence thing. We were opposites kind of track.
Yeah.
He was like I want to say he was the gringo Boricua, Puerto Rican gringo. I was the Puerto Rican that could speak Spanish and had the accent, you
Right.
know. So all that tied in together. We meshed well. We knew each other's moves, kind of like Blackheart and I did it during our time.
Right.
And I just think that we came in together a little bit late because he was kind of mingling out in the background.
Right.
So I think if we would have got together earlier, maybe, you know,
Right.
who knows?
Jose's a good guy. Like, I run into issues in the wrestling business with people, and I always go to Jose, man.
Yeah.
He always gives me good advice.
Yeah.
Good dude.
Yeah.
All right. More about your time in Puerto Rico.
So Puerto Rico, my first tour, like I said, man, it was that 4-year-old kid, you know, getting to live his dream, and at times I kind of gather, like you said with Todd, he told his teacher he wanted to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
I had the same thing because I went to school in Puerto Rico, like kindergarten and all, the first grade. I went to school in Puerto Rico, and I told my teacher that I wanted to be a wrestler, and they told me, nah, that's not fit for you. That doesn't happen for people like us and all that. So in Puerto Rico, they still do use that bullhorn that they go around the towns and they announce the matches.
Oh, they do?
And they have, you know, the commercials that come on TV with the card, with the guys matching up. And I was seeing that all around town, hearing my name, seeing it on TV, having those people go back to my family, like that teacher that was my first grade teacher, telling my aunt, oh man, tell him I'm so sorry, I'm so proud of him.
Nice.
Like, that was just humbling. And, you know, with that being said, never give up on your dreams. Your dreams are yours, not anybody else's. So
That's right.
don't listen to what anybody else says. You know,
That's
just put in
true.
the work.
It's great. More great advice from the Body Shop. No. Phil Leary, this question is for each of you. Who is your Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling? I almost forgot it because it was at the top.
You want
Mount
to fast
Rushmore.
on that one, Chris?
And that's hot, man.
Okay,
It
what are we doing?
really
What are we
is.
doing? 4?
It's 5.
Yeah. Oh, 5? Yeah,
I
we're going
said
to do 5.
5.
I think it's 4, but I think
all
it's...
Yeah, but you see the
Should be 5, though. Give me an extra guy.
Well, see, it's hard too because the more you're in the business, you realize things are different. So
Right.
some days now you respect people more for their mind than you would for their in-ring ability,
Right.
or behind the scenes stuff. So that's a tough one, you know. But like, and as a worker, I mean, you got to throw any of the horsemen in.
Yep.
You know.
Come on, you got to pick one. Don't cheat. Come on.
Okay, all right.
Just
So
give
you,
4
all
names.
right,
Come
so you
on.
got Flair, you got Telly, you got Arn, right?
Yeah. Well, you got the 4 horsemen.
Yeah, right.
Pretty much.
See, it's hard to get it.
Paul Roma. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, no.
I'm kidding. That's the first time I've mentioned
No,
Paul Roma
no.
2
Well,
episodes
Paul,
in a row.
yeah, but that whole thing wasn't fair with Paul. Like,
No,
the more
he
you-
wasn't the worst horseman
No,
either. Mongo
in the
was.
ring, he was-
Mongo
yeah.
was. He was great in the ring.
Yeah, but
Great.
Paul was
Yeah,
no, he
talented,
could
man.
go-
Athletic. That
Yeah.
elbow that
Yeah.
he did springboard,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, just wrong situation.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so yeah, no, but I want to put him in there in that category.
Right.
But you mean you got, and then the WWE guy, you got to throw Hogan.
I think Hogan
know?
has to be on the Mount
it has to
Rushmore.
be.
He has to be.
We're not here right now talking about wrestling.
Yeah, but even
It's
hard too.
Hogan, you know.
He has to be.
Did I do 5 yet? You got to
can
throw
do 5.
Dusty.
No,
You
you
got
got
to throw
Dusty.
Dusty because
Dusty.
Dusty, you know, in the ring and outside. Some
Right.
days, you know, even like to throw Heyman in too. It's hard because of the mind.
I gotta
know?
make it different now because it's
No, it's yeah, no, but it's hard because a young guy wouldn't think about putting Heyman in or even
Right.
Dusty.
Right.
Like, oh, who was that guy? You know, it's like no, but you know, in the mid '80s, Dusty was it.
Oh, I'm a huge Dusty
know,
fan. I
Dusty
got
was
like
it.
8 shirts of Dusty. I don't have it now, but I do.
Do you know?
Did you ever go to that Dusty show Big Time Wrestling did? I think it was Lynn.
No, I didn't.
Where he
go.
wrestled Steve Carino, that bull rope match.
I wish I did.
Yeah, that was a
That's
good one.
another guy that I love.
Yeah.
Carino. I'm gonna
Yeah.
actually meet him this year at the gathering.
Steve's good shit.
You know?
Again, I dropped the S.
That
They're
don't-
gonna have to.
the
I'm
S
sorry.
is okay.
I'm
It's the
sorry.
F. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? All right. So you guys have a show called The Showcase Pod. How long have you been doing the podcast? You told me 2 years.
Yeah.
You told us how it's come about.
Yeah.
Who's been some of your favorite guests that you've had?
Well, why don't you answer? Do you Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you
I jumped the
Rushmore?
gun.
And
Thank
then,
you.
yeah.
So I'll
Animals, man. I'm sorry.
I'll have to change it because I did Bruins thing interview show and I
Yeah.
had a Mount Rushmore close
The
to
same name, yeah.
close to what he had. But I was a Hogan guy, so Hogan has to be there.
Right.
Carlos Colon, I'm gonna keep him. He has to be there. My other ones were TNT and someone else, but I'm gonna change it. I was an Owen Hart guy, even though
Owen
Brett,
was awesome.
you know,
No, Owen was great.
Everybody out Brett, but when they had that feud, I was an Owen guy. Owen was
Owen beat him.
tremendous. You know,
Yeah.
WrestleMania 10, yeah. And another guy, because I brought him up and I caught up on some of his work, and this guy doesn't get mentioned at all. And he was an Attitude Era guy, D'Lo Brown. Amazing
I
worker
like
in the
D'Lo.
ring. Had great matches with Triple H.
Right.
I mean, barely gets mentioned, but in the ring, man, what an athlete D'Lo Brown was, man.
A lot of people don't even know he was part of the Gangsters.
Yes.
That's when he started.
Yes,
He was
yes.
part of the Gangsters.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to answer it. You guys did. Who was, okay. Did you have any guests you wish that you didn't have on? Maybe disappointments?
What was the other question? Favorite guest?
Favorite
Yeah.
guest and disappointment? Go ahead.
See, well, usually what happens, a lot of times we have guests on, somebody is not what you expect.
Right.
It's just not. Like when we had Buddy on, now we expect
Buddy
it.
Romano?
Yep. Look at that
Was that
episode.
the disappointment?
I'd
Because
love
Buddy
to
was
have
nice.
Buddy.
No, just totally different. Like
Right.
it went in a totally different,
Yep.
way.
He wanted Buddy, the shooter that was
It
going to come in.
yeah,
and
was
and
it? No,
tear people
no.
apart.
We're talking about, best friends. I mean, we're talking about best friends committing suicide,
Right.
and it wasn't the direction.
Right.
Like Big Dave. We had Big Dave on there, right?
Yeah, that was an emotional
You had a
one.
7-foot
Yeah.
tall guy crying regarding being a dad. You never saw that. I mean, totally out.
Yeah.
We had Jay Evans on, right? Telling the story when he came out being gay to his
Right.
dad. You don't totally,
Yeah.
not even close.
Right.
Like we had Buck Nasty on talking about, he has some issues regarding potential, suicide and other stuff. Those are like, wow.
Right.
Like you can't book that stuff. So some days,
Yep.
like I think you were an okay guess.
Thanks.
Yeah. No, but you know what I mean?
I don't even know why people have me on this show, to be totally honest with you.
It's hard. Some days you have no idea where you're going to go.
Right.
And then you're like, wow, that was wow. And some days it's not even about wrestling.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've done like 5 different shows. I was on with Julian Starr and
Okay.
Tarzan. That was a lot of fun, man. And you guys were a lot of fun.
That podcast is good. I used to listen to it.
Me
man.
too. I used to listen to Teddy and Bibbs too.
Yeah, they had a good one too.
That was
yeah.
really good, man. All right. You know I want to try to get for episode 500? George. That's the first time I've said that on
George
air.
Carroll?
Yeah, I want.
Oh, man,
I don't
you
know
gotta-
if he's going to be able to,
You
but
got to
that's
retry.
my
You
guy.
got to retry. You've had enough people.
I get on. George is a great guy. We have a great relationship.
Yeah, so
No doubt. All right. So I brought this guy up earlier before we went on here. Sean O, the ring announcer.
Sean O, my buddy
was it with
Sean.
Yankee Pro Wrestling?
He was Yankee, spotter, powerhouse. Sean and I got along great because, first of all, he's an Eagles fan. He's a Philadelphia Eagles fan,
Right.
and that's my team. So we got along from the start great. Sean rubbed certain people the wrong way because
Yeah.
he was kind of like a pain in the ass at times, and he would tell people how it is, and people don't like that.
Right,
So,
right.
But to me, I always got along great with Sean.
Nice. How about you? Have any relation
No, same
with
way.
Sean? Yeah.
Sean worked for us. I remember him working for us like in Mattapoisett. He had a ring announce for us.
Right.
I had no problems.
So he's a
still-
good ring
yeah,
announcer.
Yeah, he was
really
good.
was.
Yeah,
He's
Sean,
still
he
on
fell into
Facebook.
that and really adopted well. He was doing good.
You guys brought this guy up a couple times, and I need a Mike Spada story.
Oh, yes.
Well, that's all you.
So which one you want? And which one you want confirmation? Let's put it this way. You've heard some stories. Which one intrigued you the most out of those stories? And I'll kind of...
Well, I mean, obviously, I don't think you were at the one with Rikishi.
Yes.
You were.
I was a match before. I was on deck to go out on that. I worked for
And he
Mike.
had a sword in his hand.
And I told people that many times, and now there's footage.
Yeah.
But before that, I used to say that story to a lot of people. I probably thought I was, pulling
Yeah.
some strings. But Mike was a character. I worked for him for 10 years.
Yeah.
So that night we had a camp. Back in those days, we had these camps with people that would work for WWE as talent personnel. Mike Bucci, Supernova, was the guy at that time. We had just had a camp in that show. The day before, Rikishi was scheduled to work. He wrestled like a 2-minute thing, did his driver thing,
and
the
his
stink
fake face.
face,
Yeah.
took $2,000, disappeared, and was nowhere to be found.
Right.
So all day long, we're having this camp. Like I said, I'm tight with Mike at this point. He's like, John Vega? He's nowhere to be found. That's his voice. He spoke a little like that. I'm like, oh, don't worry, Mike. He'll come through. No, I'm telling you, he's done. So by 6:30, Mike gets a call. I'm coming to the show, Mike. My ankle's still hurt. I'm just going to sign. You got to give me another $2,000. Mike's like, nope, not going to happen. Stay where you at. You could come to the show and sign. You're not going to get paid unless you wrestle.
You sound like
So I'm like, okay, this is going to be good. Mike's like, he says he's coming to the show. He's going to shut it down. I'm like, yes. So like I said, second match was out there. I think there was like a short sleeve Sanson working somebody else with Purdy Curdy or something. I was on deck to wrestle Mike Bennett.
Okay.
We're looking out the gorilla.
Yeah.
Here comes Rikishi, huge pop.
Right.
People
Yeah, because he came in the front door.
He came in the front door. Here comes Rikishi.
Yeah.
And people don't know, Rosie was booked on that show. And Rosie been working for us on some runs, as well as his brother, Tonga Kid.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because before that, Mike wanted Tonga Kid to be Rikishi, before he ever booked the real Rikishi. So, anyways, it happens. He comes in. Mike knew where this big-ass wrench was underneath the ring, bolted out of the curtain, grabbed the wrench. Come on, I'm not afraid of you.
That Rikishi wants $2,000.
Gets on the mic, cuts the promo. I brought you guys here. You know what he was going to do? He was going to stiff you.
Fat Rikishi just wants a steak face. Oh,
So he gets dragged back.
Right.
Rosie and other people dragged him back. Like I said, Bennett and I are in the back. There's this kid that came from California, I think, at the time had a sword, a katana.
Yeah, that's...
So when Mike's like pacing back and forth doing this deal, I'm going to go at him. I'm like, just relax, Mike. Is that a sword? I'm like, oh, no. So he grabs the sword, pulls it out, runs out there. The people spread like the sea, Red Sea, and then some people screaming and taking their kids, and it was great, man. That's Mike Spotter for you.
Did you ever work a spotter show in Nashua? Which was Virgil and Rick Fuller.
No, not that way. Is that the one that Virgil ran out the ring or something?
Rick Fuller comes outside the ring with the referee, and I hear him say, he say, watch this, and he goes in, and he's got Virgil, and he's fucking chopping him like crazy.
Yeah, I wasn't at that one, but I heard the boys.
And then Virgil low blows him, pins him with his feet on the ropes, grabs his bag and left.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
Because you could hear them screaming at each other before the match.
There was so many. Actually, coming here today, I told Blackheart, we're in Sparta country. He used to run Pepperell. That's my building. I don't know the building, but he ran in Pepperell. And there was one night that Chris Candido, God rest his soul, wrestled Al Snow. And Mike was complaining about getting charged for overtime on the rent.
Right.
They're going to charge me $600, guys. Just go out there 5 minutes, done. Of course, Al's a river.
Yeah. So what did he do, 20?
Oh, yeah. They went outside the building. People are following him. Mike's yelling at them. Take it inside. Take it home. It was great.
Kid Crazy told a good story, but I'll tell you off here. You guys want to plug your next show or whatever?
Plug all of them.
Please.
Absolutely.
Take the floor.
All right. Always go to showcaseperson.com. You can find out regarding training, upcoming events, merchandise. With some great merchandise. Nice. One of the things we do for guys on our talent roster, we sell merchandise for them online. You may get a new Leo shirt if you want. Design.
It's my work shirt.
No, we'll put it up. So, but we have 3 shows coming up: the 17th and 18th of July.
Okay. Well, back to back.
School.
Nice.
On the 17th. Then we're at the Gun Club in Whiteville. And then the following week, we're in an outside event in Rentham, which is the 24th.
Okay.
There's a couple of new venues outside, but yeah, everything on social media, SP Wrestling. On the other hand, this is old Sparta country, but we can rebrand it if you want. So yeah, if there's anyone out there who wants to run shows, events, fundraisers, always here.
Nice.
For everything.
Leo.
Guys, thank you,
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Listen, we got
to do it again.
I was going to say, I got the 500, so I want you guys to come on again.
Yeah, man.
All right?
Do it again.
Guys, roll. Peace. Hi, guys. I hope you're enjoying the show. Listen, I could use a little help to grow my YouTube channel. So if you could please like, share, and subscribe. That's most importantly, subscribe. Send me a direct message, and I'll give you a shout out here on the show. My YouTube channel is real simple. It's just my name, Leo Connors. Thanks in advance. Peace.